Implied volatility is the single most important concept that separates sophisticated options sellers from beginners. Most people who sell options ignore it entirely. The ones who understand it use it to time their trades, maximize their premium, and avoid situations where the odds are stacked against them. Here's exactly what it is and how to use it. Implied volatility, or IV, is the market's expectation of how much a stock will move over the next year, expressed as a percentage. A stock with an implied volatility of 20% is expected to move roughly 20% up or down over the next 12 months. A stock with IV of 60% is expected to move much more dramatically. Here's the crucial insight for option sellers. Implied volatility directly determines how much premium you collect. High implied volatility means fat premiums. Low implied volatility means thin premiums. When IV is elevated, the market is paying you more for the same risk. When IV is compressed, it's paying you less. But implied volatility doesn't stay constant. It rises when the market is fearful. Around earnings announcements, economic events, geopolitical uncertainty. It falls when things calm down and markets grind higher. This creates a pattern that option sellers can exploit. The strategy is simple. Sell premium when implied volatility is high. Avoid selling when implied volatility is unusually low. You want to be the one collecting inflated premiums when the market is scared, not the one selling cheap options when everything is calm. There's a metric called IV rank that makes this easy. IV rank tells you where current implied volatility sits relative to the past year. An IV rank of 80 means IV is higher than it's been 80% of the time in the last year. That's a good time to sell. An IV rank of 20 means IV is historically low. Premiums are cheap and selling is less attractive. Most good options platforms show you IV rank right on the options chain. On tastytrade, it's front and center. Before placing any trade, glance at IV rank. Above 50 is generally favorable for sellers. Below 30 and you might want to wait for a better opportunity. One more thing. After a big spike in implied volatility, a market sell-off, an earnings surprise, a news event, IV often collapses rapidly back to normal levels. This collapse is called IV crush, and it benefits option sellers enormously. When IV drops, the options you sold lose value faster than just theta decay alone. This is why experienced sellers often look for opportunities right after periods of fear. Implied volatility is the wind at your back when it's elevated and the wind in your face when it's low. Learn to read it, and you'll know when the conditions are right to sell and when to wait. Next video. How to pick the right expiration date for every trade. Subscribe so you don't miss it.